Hey there folks, Michael here. So here we are at the end of the challenge, and I'm going to talk in this video about what happened, what didn't happen, and letting it all go. So when you set out to do the challenge, maybe you had some goals: lose a certain amount of weight, maybe learn to eat better on a more regular basis, create an exercise habit you could stick with, maybe just gain a new perspective on your own approach to or your own vision for your health and well-being. And now that the challenge is over, it's time to complete it. To take a look at what happened, what you did, what you didn't do, take away the lessons, and most importantly, put it all behind you. Because finishing something and completing it are two different things. Finishing it means you get to the end. You took the steps, you went the distance, kind of like running a race from start to finish. Now, completing it means you learn from it, you put it to bed, and you don't give it permanent residence in your psyche, fantasizing about how it might have been different. It means extracting the lessons and leaving the rest behind. Because here's the thing. You did what you did. You didn't do what you didn't do. And beating yourself up over it isn't going to change anything. But learning from it will. So what completing it looks like is taking an honest look at all of it. And first, giving yourself some credit for what you accomplished. Because no matter what, you took on an area of your life that you decided was important, and you took a heck of a lot more actions than you would have otherwise. And that's worth a lot. Many people never even get that far. So even if you didn't get where you thought you were supposed to get, try to focus some on what changed that you consider positive. Because you can build on that. You can do more of what got you where you are. Now, as far as what didn't happen, you can learn from that, just as much as you can learn from what did happen. When it comes to taking away what you learned, here's a simple approach. First, take stock of what results you got, what actually happened to you. Next, decide what actions you took that delivered those results and make note of those. Decide if you want to keep doing them, do more of them, or even do less of them. And finally, take a look at the gap between what you got and what you were going for, and ask yourself some questions. Was I realistic? Did you even have enough time to get there? If not, you didn't do anything wrong. You made a judgment call about what you could do, and this is good information for constructing future goals. You now know a little bit about what you can do in a fixed period of time more realistically. Now, if you did have enough time and you know there were some things that you just didn't do that you planned on doing, that's fine. But ask yourself, why didn't I do them? All of this is good information for creating next actions. Did you not really want to do them? Maybe you can focus more on things that you want to do. Did you give yourself too much to do? Maybe you can cut some things loose. It's better to have a short list that you regularly accomplish than a long list that you are constantly not finishing. Or did you sleep in instead of doing them? Well, maybe you need either a different strategy for getting out of bed, or maybe you just need to decide that mornings are not your time for now. So make a list of the things you're going to continue. Don't lie to yourself about anything, and that means 1, don't brush it off like it wasn't important, but also 2, don't tell yourself you're some equivalent of a born loser. Those are both lies. And finally, let it go. Well, how do you let it go? Well, it's just a little bit like meditation. If you catch yourself hooked on it in your mind, direct your mind back towards something more productive. Now notice I didn't say positive, I said productive. Something like, hey, that happened. But what I'm doing now is X, Y, and Z. Focus on the lessons and the actions, not the story. Now, you may believe that punishing yourself for what you failed to accomplish is the best way to motivate yourself to get in there and try again. And if you do, why? Ask yourself, what really makes you want to do more of what worked? Knowing that you worked hard, took concrete actions, and accomplished a result? Or a mental lashing about how badly you failed? One of those is going to build a relationship of trust with yourself, and one is not. See, if you take actions in good faith and you make progress, and what you get in return is punishment, what makes you think you're going to want to take any actions in the future at all? Think about it like a job. If you work hard and make progress, are you apt to work harder if you only get punished for what you missed? Or are you bound to get resentful? Are you bound to hold back a little more next time? But if your boss or supervisor gives you credit for making progress and then helps you identify where more actions you can take are you more or less likely to follow their lead? See, if you build a relationship with yourself where you don't get credit for the work you've done, you are not going to want to do a whole lot of work for yourself for very long. I mean, there could be any number of reasons why what you planned didn't come to fruition. Your job now is to make your best guess and to keep moving forward. Because forming habits that get results is all about deciding what you're going to pursue, creating a vision for yourself, and allowing that vision to tell you what actions to take and how to spend your time. By repeating those actions, you create your habits. What matters is that you continue to repeat actions that you believe will get you results. Now, if you didn't do something that you wanted to do, you can add that into your vision and create some productive actions to move you forward in that direction. Now, notice there's nothing in here about punishment. You don't owe it to anyone to punish yourself. Reviewing what happened and creating actions is the act of completion. And once you have these actions, you never have to look back again. So keep your vision in your vision and keep updating actions based on how you fulfilled them and what results they got. Period. Let the rest go. Now, just like any skill, this does take some practice. The good news is that it's not something to add, it's something to subtract. You're going to subtract all the time and energy spent berating yourself or defending yourself or holding back or procrastinating out of fear of failing. You're not going to win in the punishment game. It's a sure way to get yourself to give up. And truthfully, that's why most people do it. It helps create a reason to quit and take an easier path. So know that if you're not in this to quit, playing that game is not worth it. This is much cleaner. Act, review, create new actions, and repeat. If you catch yourself drifting into a story from the past, let it go and direct your attention back to the immediate, concrete actions that are laid out in front of you. So that is my message to you for completing the challenge and letting it all go. Take what there is to learn and move forward. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time.